So, 2 weeks ago, I needed to get myself a brand new computer. My other computer finally conked out on me, and I decided to get something a little bit new. I would usually use my old Apple computer, but this time I decided to go brand new and get the MacBook Air. I didn't want to get the base model. I heard about some users with the base model had overheating issues, but I was happy to get this one with 16 gigs and 1 terabyte of space. The problem is, it's still overheated on me anyway. It overheated on me doing some taxing tasks as well as some regular tasks. So I may or may not keep this, but as you can see, it is the black color. Well, it's not really called black, it's actually called something else. This color is actually called Midnight Black. It's one of the 3 colors that came out with the MacBook Air, and I actually like it over the space gray. I was gonna go ahead and get the Pro, but I wanted to save a little bit of extra money. Did I kind of regret that decision? The 15-inch MacBook Air came with a whole bunch of different experiences. First, it didn't have a fan, which I was very skeptical on at first, but I was like, it's an Apple product. It should still work like it's supposed to. I went ahead and got the Pro. It was the 14-inch first, but it was not big enough for my needs. So, took it back to Best Buy, did the old switcheroo, and got an iPad. And the iPad didn't do exactly what I needed, so I went back to Best Buy, and I got the 15-inch MacBook Air. I didn't want to get the 8 gigabyte. I got the 16 gigabytes of RAM with 1 terabyte. I know Apple, since the M1 model, has slowed down their SSDs. So I wanted to get the one with the fastest read and write speed that I can afford and what Best Buy had available, because I didn't feel like going through Apple. No harping on Apple, it's just that I needed a computer soon. I came back home, turned it back on, launched my Apple account, put in my iCloud information, and we're off. Everything was good until I started doing some photo editing. Now, I know a lot of people here on the channel don't know because I really don't talk about it much, but my wife and I actually do wedding video and photography. And in that, I need a computer that is fast enough to handle that. So I popped it into one of my favorite programs, Aftershoot, and I did some calling. Calling is pretty much just going through all the photos and picking out which ones work and which ones don't. And when I went through that whole process of calling, the computer got extremely hot. I mean, very hot to the touch, right into the center of the keyboard where most creators say they had this issue. After I got out of Aftershoot, well, even before I got out of Aftershoot, 1,000 photos, all of them was roughly 24 megapixels if I'm not mistaken. It took about 30 minutes to call. And that was about the same amount of time as my Windows laptop that I got 4.5 years ago. So I know there's issues with throttling because when it got hot, everything slowed down. After I got out of Aftershoot and put everything in Lightroom, it started doing the same thing. Some of my different presets did not work anymore, and it was extremely disheartening. But the good thing is, when I went to DaVinci Resolve and I put in all the clips from the wedding, everything was working smoothly. And I think I know why. See, when it comes to Apple, especially this M2 Air, I would not call this a laptop. Because if you put this on your lap and you do hardcore work, it is more likely to overheat. As I use it here on this countertop, this cold countertop, it never overheats. I never have any issues. I never have any problems when it comes to my M2 Air. But I say that to say this and to kind of make the video a little bit more short and sweet and answer some questions that were never answered when I was going through the whole process of looking at what I should get. This laptop, when it comes to any sort of picture work, video work, designing, heavy hardcore coding, do not put this on your lap. It will overheat, and it will overheat quickly on you. Working on this laptop in Aftershoot, 30 minutes, it took forever. It got extremely hot fast on my lap. And before I even went into Aftershoot, it was on my lap for about an hour. So if you want to make sure that the air, while you're doing complicated tasks, seldom overheats, because every once in a blue moon since I had this and I worked on it, many of photos and some videos here for the channel, it only overheated on me twice. But I had like 30 tabs open, Lightroom working in the background, and working on DaVinci Resolve all at the same time. If you're going to do that, please get a faster hard drive. I'm talking about the 1 terabyte hard drive and up. Please get 16 gigabytes. 8 is not enough for any type of creative work, and that's going for any laptop. I know some people were able to do it on the base, just I was not able to do it on the base. And I think a lot of those reviews came from people who got their stuff directly from Apple when it comes to their reviews. But I always try to be completely honest when it comes to fragrances, when it comes to different aspects of life, just to help you out. I know Apple came out with their new M3s for the pros, so if you were to get an Air, I would say wait about a month. Wait around Christmas time. I got some buddies that work at Best Buy who already said the sales may or may not be coming out. And you need to just wait a little bit if you want to get the Air. If you want to get the Pro, I would wait as well. The M3s are getting shipped later on this month, so the M2s are definitely going to go on sale. You may find some open box deals. Luckily, I only live about 30 minutes away from a outlet. If you don't know about the Best Buy outlet, that's where a lot of the open box stuff go to directly. You have some that goes to the stores, of course, but the outlet is where you're gonna find stuff on laptops, computers, TVs, washers, dryers, anything that has a circuit that Best Buy sells. 9 times out of 10, you'll find a good price that is an open box used at the outlet. Second thing, when it comes to the ProMotion on the MacBook Pros versus M2 MacBook Airs, there's a difference. There is a difference, but is it that much of a difference to pay the extra money for it? No. If you connect it to a monitor, your monitor needs to be able to at least get close to the aspect ratio, need to get close to the quality, as well as get close to the colors to make a difference. So 9 times out of 10, you will have to update your monitor just because the screen is so much better than the monitors that you would get at the store. So is it just worth it for the ProMotion? It is, only if you don't try to add additional monitors to it. Because when I had the Pro and I put it on my monitors here, it started to hurt my eyes after about 20 minutes because there is a difference not only in color, but in refresh rate. You need to make sure that you can match that. The third thing is the battery life drastically different. It is, but only roughly about an hour or two, at least in my testing. And this is me working on DaVinci Resolve, Lightroom, Photoshop, just hardcore work. Only saw a difference in about roughly 2 hours. Is it enough to pay extra? Not really. The only justification that I have would to go up to a 16-inch Pro or a 14-inch Pro is if you really need that computing power, the MacBook Air is capable of, but because it gets hot, it throttles down. And the fourth and final thing, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the content. A lot of my followers already know that we are a fragrance channel, but we do expand on other topics. And this is one of the topics. It's such an amazing laptop. It's such a great laptop, but just like with everything, nothing is perfect. Will I upgrade this? Maybe in the future. Maybe if I catch a good deal. I am a Pro member with Best Buy, so I do get a longer return period. So if I catch any of the 16 inches coming on an open box, I probably would just do a no switcheroo and get that. But for now, this right here is great. It's extremely lightweight. When I mean extremely lightweight. And I wish that other Macs, their Pro versions would be almost as light as this. But needless to say, Apple would do what Apple does. This is Ronnie from RonnieJTV.